In today's webinar, we are going to be covering something that every one of you faces in your life, in your business out there, and that is what I call the gremlin doors of what get in the way of the success of your business and the success of your life. And it's an amazing program that I learned from Marilyn Atkinson when I took my professional coaching certificate at Erickson College. It was an intense course and great instructors, and I just am so happy that I took that course. But anyways, Marilyn created what was called the 4 quadrants, and in the 4 quadrants, she talks about what gets in the way of success and how we do it. This is going to help you, when you leave this webinar, go out and implement all the new things in your business, any kind of small actions you want to take. Anything new into your business as far as marketing, farming, you're going to go through this process. So it's just really an awesome system that we're going to get to. Let's just do a real quick review here. Week 1, we did the logical levels. I helped you understand defining your purpose. I helped you understand how defining your purpose works in your actions, in your identity, who you are, how to market that identity, and how to go through this whole process. And then all the way down to the environment that you create for yourself. Make sure if you haven't seen it, you go back and review it. As someone that has signed up for this webinar, you have access to all the four replays. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a link to all 4 replays on my YouTube site. It's a private posting, so you won't be able to go to Coach Keith's YouTube site and pick these ones up because we're keeping it private as part of our launch that's going on this afternoon that I'm going to tell you about later. All right, then what we did is we covered SCARF. So everything that I've done in these 4 series has been aligned to help you be better, and it's gone in a sequence so that you can get the power of this more effectively. You see, everything we've been discussing and talking about has been to make you the best tool in your business. So what I need you to know is that the process we're going through here is almost a reprogramming of your brain. And the good news is this isn't a cult because I don't make any money off of you guys changing your lives. I don't make any money off of you walking through the system. What I am doing is teaching you not to live in your default brain, the default survival brain that's based on fear, worry, and concern. And I'm coaching you and showing you how to shift that so that you can go into a place of being in a positive future state of mind, which we talked about. Now, here's the thing, right? These things here are all about me showing you how your brain works so that you can understand how you've come up with the beliefs and how you've come up with the stories that you've created in your life so that you can change them. The whole idea is that we don't stay the same. We need to continually +1 our lives and our businesses. To do that, we have to understand what we're changing, and what we're changing is our mindset and our beliefs and this ingrained process. Basically what it is we have these neurosynapses in our brain, and there's just millions of neurosynapses. There's thousands of neurons in your brain, and each one is communicating with other neurons, and there's so many neurosynapses going on that the ones that you're having the strongest all the time becomes a groove in your brain, and that becomes your belief. What we're doing is we want to undo those synapses, create some new ones so we could create new grooves in your brain so you have a new way of thinking that you're going to apply going forward. And that's why the consistency of doing the Success Meeting 6 steps is so important, that you continue on so you can continue on strengthening that groove in your brain that's going to get you what you want in your life. So we covered SCARF. Dr. David Rock's work, the neuroscientist on SCARF. SCARF stands for status, certainty, autonomy, relational, and fairness. If you remember, it is the filter in which all the information comes in and creates feelings where we go out and then we take actions on those feelings, and then that is the result that we get. So we want to make sure that we know how we work. We can change the way we see things, because if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That way we can create positive feelings and positive thoughts, positive stories, so we can go and take positive actions in our business. I was holding a success meeting on Monday this week at my offices, and I asked everyone, what is it that you know about yourself or about your business that has you knowing you're going to sell homes this year? And I'm in a room of top producing realtors, and you think they would come up with, well, because I'm doing my farm, because I'm doing my just listed, and I'm doing my just solds. They're doing all those things, and that's a big part of it. But you know what the takeaway was? They said, I know that I'm going to do sales this year because I work hard. I know I'm going to have sales this year because I created great relationships with my clients. I know that I'm going to have sales this year because I have to. That was one of the guys said, because I have to, right? So he shows up every day, he goes to work, he does his open houses. These are the things that we know, and you know too, that you're going to sell homes. We don't need to go to what if I don't sell homes or what if I don't make enough money, which again is the emotions and feelings that I'm teaching you how to control or how to lead, okay? Lead to the place where you can get a better result. Then we talked about the crucial conversations. So you understand how the logical levels and how you work as a human being. Then you understand how your feelings and how your thoughts are created. And now I'm showing you how to have difficult conversations while leading these things in the right direction to get what you want. How to have difficult conversations about price reductions. How to have difficult conversations with your husband or your wife or your partner. How to have difficult conversations with the teacher at school. How to have difficult conversations to get the right price on a listing. How to have those conversations in difficult times. That was module 3. That was webinar number 3. I got really great feedback on all 3 of these, and thank you for sending me the questions that I got to answer to you privately one-on-one. That fulfills me deeply, be able to help you guys, work this stuff out. Number 4 today, I'm going to show you what happens when you go to apply all this stuff and gremlin doors, obstacles get in the way of your success. Obstacles get in the way of implementing this. I'm going to show you that today, and I'm excited to give you this. This is Marilyn Atkinson's work. When I got this, I went through the whole process of getting my certificate as a coach, a solution-focused coach, and I went through modules and modules, went through 5 modules and 6 weekends and all the tests and all the training. And on the last one, there was a different instructor that came in. She stood there, she talked about the 4 quadrants, and I got it. And it was like, oh my goodness, this was such a huge learning for me because it allowed me to understand why I stopped getting to my success. I had to go through the 4 quadrants so many times just to be here with you today. Just to be here with you today and to go through this process. I've gone through the 4 quadrants hundreds of times on different actions, on different dreams, on different focuses. It's so important that we understand ourselves so that we can learn why we stop when we're almost at the gold, why we stop when we're almost at the win, or what is it that drives us through to the win, and how is it we get through these obstacles. It's just going to be an amazing webinar today. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 6 steps that are involved in the success meeting process that you've now done. This will be your 4th time. It's funny, I really enjoy getting the emails and the questions asking me okay, so this is what you said about the logical levels. I feel stuck in my actions, and for what you're saying is I need to look at my values to get unstuck. So what does that mean? And then I give them a real quick answer back, and they're like, oh, I get it now, and they move on. But the truth is you're all looking for results. You all want more sales. You all want more leads, and here's the good news. You're giving me that feedback as well. There's one person that called me, didn't call me, sent me an email saying they went out, they asked the questions they didn't want to know the answer to. They had the difficult conversation with a couple of buyers, and what happened was 2 of them heard what they had to say, got in the car, went out, wrote offers, went in multiple offers, and they won. And because they were able to have the crucial conversation and deliver the truth professionally to those people, they were able to get 2 transactions. That fulfilled their goal for the month. They got it. They're like, oh my goodness, this is in my control. I have to make sure I'm doing the right things in my business. And then I got another email, which was just a really powerful email, which was, I decided by watching these videos on the first one, Keith, that I started my farm. My farm's in process. I haven't got anything back from it yet, and you won't, because if you're going to start a farm, you need a minimum of an 18-month commitment in that farm to get the results. But what they said to me was, I really feel now that I'm running a business. I really feel like I'm doing something that's going to create the business for me down the road. So I just love that I'm making a really big impact in your lives. I really like that you're implementing what we're talking about. And there's just so much more that I want to give you. And because I can only give you so much, we're here today, and I'm going to move on to the 4 quadrants. But I want you to know the announcement that I'm making at the end of this video is going to, A, save you a lot of money, and it's going to give you way more in-depth information on how we work, and it's awesome. So I'll let you know about that shortly. All right, let's move on. Okay, this is the 4 quadrants. You have quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have inspiration, implementation, you have integration, and you have celebration. And what I want you to know is every time you want to achieve a new goal, every time that you want to implement something into your life, or every time you go to have something, an action or a goal or a purpose, you're going to go through this process. This is the process that we go through as human beings, and what we need to know is that when you get an idea and you want to put that idea into action, when you get inspired and you want to go out there and you want to do something differently in your life, as you get started on that journey, you're going to go through 4 legs of that journey. And every time you go, you're going to hit an obstacle, and you have to get around that obstacle. And the first thing I want you to know is, if you have a purpose greater than the action or the goal itself, you'll have the drive to get through and around these obstacles. If you believe in what you want to achieve to get there, you're going to make it through these obstacles. If you don't, you're not even going to make it through the gremlin door number 1. So gremlin door number 1. Here's gremlin door number 1 right here. Fear of dreaming. So when you set the purpose, the goal, or the action, the first thing we want to do, and the first thing that needs to happen, is we need to be inspired. We need to have this inspiration that gives us this drive to go and accomplish what we want to accomplish. Now, if you set the goal and the goal's unrealistic, then what happens is you don't get inspired. So you remember back in the day, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this thing here. When you're making a goal, it should be SMART. Now I know there's different words for this, but mine is specific, manageable, attainable, realistic, and timely. All right. So if I set a goal that doesn't fit into this category here, if it's not specific, if it's not manageable, it's very hard for me to get inspired. So let's just say I did 24 transactions last year and I want to go for 55 now. I want to double my business and more. So as I get started on this journey, it's really hard to get inspired to think that I'm going to double my business when I haven't put anything in place. It's just me dreaming that it's going to happen. So what happens is in that point of inspiration, the very first gremlin door that we get to is gremlin door number 1, fear of dreaming. So if I set something that's unattainable, unachievable, then I'm like, wow, man, what if I don't make it? What if I don't get there? Oh my goodness, and it's like, okay, so who wants to start that race? Here's an analogy for you. So, if my favorite food is a nice steak dinner, and what I don't like is liver and onions. My mom used to give that to me when I was a kid, and I hated it. And if you told me at the end of this webinar, if it's successful, I'm going to get a steak dinner, I'm going to be motivated to be awesome in this webinar. If you told me at the end of this webinar I'm going to get liver and onions, I'm not going to be as motivated to go and achieve it. So you better want what you're going for. Don't set goals that you don't want to achieve, and don't start taking actions in the crucial conversations, in the art of having conversations that matter. I said for you to make sure you make yourself important in everything, because if you don't make yourself important in it, you're not going to go out and get it. Another example of the fear of dreaming. So I recently, on the Realtor Profits private Facebook page, which you can be a part of, I did a survey, and I asked, what are your biggest concerns in your business? I said number 1 was achieving your full potential. Number 2 was future security. Number 3 was there was being happy. And, oh, geez. Sorry, guys. Anyways, the number 1 concern that everyone responded to was not achieving their full potential. So that's why I brought this up today, because can you imagine you start the race and you don't even believe that you can reach your potential? You don't even believe that you have what it takes to do what you need to do. So we don't even get to gremlin door number 2, number 3, or number 4 in this process, because gremlin door number 1, the fear of dreaming that we can reach our full potential, stops us from even starting the race. So it was really powerful to see that. And what I want you to know about the fear of reaching your potential, I coached one young man once who, he was doing good, maybe 18, 17 transactions, really wanted to get to that next level, wanted to make medallion. And we were in the coaching session, and what I love about my clients is they like to go deep. They like to figure out why they're in their own way or what's happening for them. And we ended up finding out that he feared not reaching his potential, which allowed him to not take action, because if he doesn't try, then he doesn't have to face that he doesn't meet his full potential. Does that make sense? I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of what we call a positive feedback loop, even though it's negative. By not taking action, he didn't have to worry about meeting his potential, therefore he didn't meet his potential, therefore he got exactly what he wanted. We broke through that, and how we broke through it was actually very simple, but very hard to do, which is, letting go of perfection, and I had him step into mastery. And to this day, 5 years later, he's on the journey to mastery, and I hope that you guys are on the journey to mastery with me now too. The journey to perfection is just a struggle. It's trying to become something you're not, where the journey to mastery is trying to become the best you can be. So what he did was he implemented my +1ing system. So for everyone out there that had done the poll, here's the antidote to the problem of the fear of reaching our full potential. Is a daily focus or a weekly focus on +1ing our life. A lot of you might not know what that means, and it's the number 1 thing, and the number 1 thing that I coach with my clients and my systems is the life wheel and the +1ing model. And it's just as simple as this. I take and I put down the parts of my life. So let's just put down here my work, okay? And then what I do is I put myself in the moment, and in the moment I'm at a 7. So what I want to do is I want to go to an 8, a +1 action that takes me to an 8. So what do I need to do? I need to do a social media push or boost, okay? Which a lot of you, if you're on your Facebook while you're watching this, will see I've already done it. But the bottom line is this is the secret recipe to getting through that place of the fear of reaching your potential. Because if and when you do the life wheel and the +1ing action in your life and your business, you're automatically taking a step towards your potential. And when you become addicted to this process, then what you realize is by taking that step in the moment, I am getting to my potential. I am in my potential. I mean, if you think about the fear of reaching your potential, it means you're not acknowledging what you have now, which is why in the success meetings we do the 3 successes and what works well. And it's why the people that take my success meetings, they know they're on track to meeting their full potential. They're not afraid of not getting there. They're excited that they're on the path to get there. And if you believe in mastery and meeting your full potential, then what it is it's a goal that you're never going to achieve, that you're actually excited to go to, because you know that getting to that full potential is going to reap all the benefits, profit, family, all those great things. And on the journey to mastery, the same thing as well. So let's talk about what we need to do today to get there. So that was a little sidebar that I just put in there from the poll, because I want to give you what you wanted from me. And I thought long and hard about this for a couple of days, and and I was talking to my wife, and she just said, you know what, it's just taking the actions and the +1 that's going to get them there. And I'm like, I know. And then what happens is you can build that belief that you're going to reach your full potential. All right. Back to the 4 quadrants. You set a goal or an action that you're going to take that's realistic, that you want to go to. First, you need to be inspired to put that into action. Now remember, this is the path. This is the path you take for success. This is the path that you take to reach your goals, the path that you take to start your farm. It's the path that you take to do a just listed, just sold. It's the path you take to ask for the business at the open house. After you get through the fear of dreaming and you've made a plan that is smart for you, now you're like, okay, now I want to do this. Let's go out. And what you want to do now is you start implementing the things, the ideas, the actions that you need to take to accomplish the goal. So you're actually in action right now. What you're doing is you're paying attention to your intention. Your intention is to reach the goal. You're inspired, which is all up in your head. Now you're taking action, which is boots to the ground, which is the rubber to the road. Now that you're taking the action and implementing the action, the next gremlin door that shows up is, this is the one I meet everybody at, victim identification. We allow others to get in the way of our success, or we allow ourselves to get in the way of our success. So the victim identification door would look something like, I'm looking forward to traveling to Europe. Oh, darn, the government won't give me my passport. The government, now I'm the victim of the government, and meanwhile, I'm not going to be able to get through that gremlin door unless I have this crazy idea to run down there, pay the money for the rush, have them do it, and get it in time before I go. That would be the solution around that problem. Remember, I'm a solution-focused coach with a positive outcome frame. I want the gremlin doors. I need them to show up. I need you to acknowledge where your gremlin doors are, so then you can find your own solution around it. Remember, I'm tailoring my coaching to each individual, so the solution would be different and the problems are always different. Everybody has obstacles. Everybody has gremlin doors. Nobody has an easy path to success. We all go through this process. Now, you would think when you look and you see some top producing realtors, or you see people that have success in your life, you think, wow, that was an easier ride for them. It's not easy. It's not easy. Believe me, when I show you what we're going to announce today, and I tell you the process of getting there, man, it ain't easy to get where you want to go. All you do is hit gremlin doors. All we want to do is get through them together with a partner. Any support you could have would be great. So what do we do when we get to victim identification? Well, the good news is, at victim identification, you're 50% of the way to your goal. You're 50% of the way there. You are implementing the right things, and now you just want to get around it. So a really good example of this is working with a client that didn't want to invest money in their business. They had the money to invest, but they didn't want it because they didn't believe that, just listed, just sold, or any of that worked. And I just looked at him and I said, if you send out a just listed, just sold, does that give you an opportunity for a listing? He goes, yes. I said, if you don't send it out, does it give you an opportunity for a listing? And he said, no. And I said, that's how simple this is. But why is it so difficult to take the action to invest? Because gremlin door number 2, or he never even got through gremlin door number 1, where he doesn't even believe that he could be successful. So you see, I'm not going to invest money in my business if I don't believe I'm going to do the business. So you either got to believe and get off the pot and get going, or you stop here and you figure out, what do I need to do to believe? Do I set a newer goal? Do I set a realistic goal? Or do I just need to have some confidence and belief in myself to move through so I can start implementing? So then he goes out, takes and invests the money in his farm for 18 months. Nothing comes back for 16 months. Wants to quit at 12. I said, no, you committed to 18. Let's go. Wants to commit at 16. He wants to let it go. He said, no, I've invested $12,000. I have nothing back right now. And then on the 17th month of an 18-month plan, he started to get phone calls from a farm area, and the farm area that he was going to was very expensive. The average commission probably would have been about $25,000 to $30,000. And the good news is he got 2 CMAs, got the listings, listed and sold, picked up a buyer, somebody bought with him. Basically, at the end of a 4-month period, after 17th month, he ended up having 6 transactions that he could say was from the farm, which added up to about $140,000 to $150,000. So that $12,000 investment would have been nothing had he quit. Like, that's the whole thing. Had he stopped at 16, it would not have come to fruition. Because he pushed through, he was implementing, he was at victim identification. This isn't working. Nobody's calling me. Nobody likes this stuff. You know, the marketing guys aren't getting it out. I don't like this. I don't like that. We pushed. We went through every obstacle. We redesigned the postcards. We sent them out again. We hired a different company to make sure that it got to the door. And boom, when we got through those gremlin doors, he got the results. When he got the results, he got the money. Now, I know y'all want the money, y'all want the results, but the truth is, to get the results, you have to go through this insane road, this insane journey of hard work, focus, and investing in yourself and implementing the things in your business to get there. Nothing comes easily. This world is not easy. And if you want it to be easy, then, click this computer, turn it off, and go back to the Starbucks and get your latte and hope that everything comes together for you. Because it's not easy, and it takes work, and to become successful and to achieve what you want in life, we have to get through these gremlin doors. So fear of dreaming is the one where I find a lot of people that don't even start the race. But if they actually believe and then they get to this point, they say to me, I don't know what to implement. So we coach around what we need to do here. Everybody knows what they need to do, and they just don't know if they want to do it because they don't really believe in themselves 100%. But when I get them through gremlin door number 1, they start implementing, then it's like, I ordered that camera and the part didn't come in, or something happens. Somebody's getting in the way of your success, or you don't allow yourself to continue through. When you get around that obstacle, now you're going downhill to achieve your goal. The hard work is done. You got inspired, you implemented, you started your focus, you stayed on top of your goal, you did a vision board, you downloaded the AIM Real Estate Focus app, you're using everything the way you're supposed to, you're coming to the success meetings, and now you go to the part where you find that it's integration. It's integrated into you. It is your new way of thinking. When I talked to you earlier about the neurosynapses and the superhighways and the grooves in our brain, now you've integrated and created another neural highway in your brain for success. You've created something that is positive, that you can do, that can get you there. Gremlin door number 3, you've come through here, is system identification. You do not or allow yourself to take pride for what you've accomplished. Crazy, right? I mean, I have this belief, and I believe that, the model of the world that we live in, the social construct of the world we live in, is based on, the late 1800s, 1900s, where it was predominantly a white male Christian that made all the rules and regulations. One of the rules was, when you think about the Christian whole belief system is, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. So, we're not allowed to be proud. And then you take the fact that we're Canadians, and we're very polite and we're very humble. So, we don't take pride for what we've accomplished. Ben was standing here today. We've got our system set up. This is our 8th webinar we've done. And he said, you know what, Keith? This is the cleanest setup we've ever had. And I'm like, wow, it only took us 8 to get here. And we had a moment where we're proud of what we have accomplished and getting through the gremlin doors. I mean, I've made webinars where my voice sounded like I was on helium. We had a webinar that froze for 10 minutes. I mean, we've gone through this journey to get here. And if I quit, if I gave up because I was worried about what you thought or how you looked or if you liked it or didn't watch it, then I would never have gotten to this point. And now I can take pride that we've accomplished this and we're here and I'm doing what I wanted to do, which is impact lives in a positive way. I didn't allow myself to get in the way. I didn't allow my ego to stop me if I was embarrassed, or, My ego is Gremlin door number 2 has a lot to do with ego, and it's got a lot to do with us getting and worrying about if we're doing it right or somebody's doing it. It's like just a noise in our head. And the only way to get rid of that is to let it go and to realize that you have what it takes to reach your full potential. That means you're dreaming that you have what it takes to reach your potential, which will push you through. When it's integrated into you and it's your new belief system, you need to take pride in what you've accomplished. If you're sitting out there right now watching this webinar and, you could be new, so you just got licensed and then you went and looked for a brokerage. You didn't even celebrate that you got your license. If you've been in the business a long time and you want to go to that next level and you're hitting like 20s or 30s in your deals and you want to get to 40 and 50, you're not even celebrating the 20 and 30. You're focusing on the 40 and 50. You're not being proud that you built a business to get to 20 or 30 transactions. 20 or 30 transactions in the greater Vancouver market is the top 10% of the industry. So if there's 14, 15,000 realtors, there's 1,500, the top 10%, and you're part of that. So you got to take pride that you've built and accomplished to this level. And if you don't take pride, how can you plus one? How can you even better if? What worked well was I got to 20, it'd be even better if I got to 30. And I got to take pride in the business that I created to get there. So integration, once it's integrated into you, you have to get through Gremlin door number 3. You have to get through that, which is take pride in what you've accomplished. Now, celebration. Coach Keith loves celebration, but it's not like what you think. It's not like cracking a bottle of champagne, hanging out with my pals, drinking beers, waking up hungover, and regretting the night before. Celebration is the ability to explore the value that I've created or you've created for yourself going through the process of hitting and going through all the Gremlin doors. It's called conflict identification. So it's this place where we're at conflict, and I'll give you a really good example. So a realtor sets out at the beginning of the year to do 24 transactions. Then what they do is they set their goal, they believe they can do it, it's realistic, they get excited, they dream that it's possible, they do a vision board, and then what they do is they start implementing the things that they need to do to get to those 24 transactions. They door knock, they cold call, they just listed, just sold, they call their past clients, they get involved in the community, they do community events, they do whatever it takes, whatever they need to do to make it happen. And then when they get to a month where they get 0, instead of like quitting, they're like, okay, what do I need to do? They ramp it up, they go out, they call the clients, they just keep working hard. And then all of a sudden, it's integrated into their business and they're at like 10 out of 12 halfway through the year. And then at the end of the year, they reach 23 of their 24 sales. Now, most people would not celebrate because they didn't reach the 24. And Coach Keith says you celebrate this by looking at what value did you create for yourself by getting to the 23 of the 24 sales. What value did you create for yourself? What value did you create for your family? What value did you create for the people that you were affecting in the world and your clients? What value did you create for the clients? You have to explore the value because the brain needs to measure, and the way the brain measures is by value. Everybody wants to know they're getting value. Right now, your brain's measuring, is this webinar of value to you? Is this a value of your time? Is this a value to you so that you're going to walk away with something that you're going to have? So I get that realtor, I meet with them, I celebrate, they go to celebrate, they take pride in what they've accomplished, but if you don't explore your value, this is what happens. January 1st, you wake up and you go, can I do it again? Is this even possible? How am I going to do this again? And remember, I just had a success meeting in my office and I said, what do you know about yourself that you know you're going to sell homes again every year? And it's like, we're hardworking, we take care of our clients, we stay focused on our purpose. So the whole idea here is, when they explore the value and what they've created for themselves, when I explore the value and what I've created for myself, it inspires me to do more. And I'm back on the road again. And here's what happens. This becomes like a tile in a mosaic on a wall. I take this tile, I put it on the wall, and there it is. There's an action, there's a goal that I've achieved. I put that on the wall, and I set up the new one again. I set up the new action, the new goal, the new purpose, the new dream. I get inspired for that dream. I get through the gremlin door because I believe I can accomplish it. I then go to implement more. So to go from 24 to 36, I'm going to do more mailers. I'm going to do more calling. I'm going to do more in the community. I'm going to do video pushes. I'm going to become the video mayor of my neighborhood. I'm going to promote my community. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to sponsor one of the teams. I'm going to put my name on the board. I'm going to get bus benches. And then you implement that. And then when you go to get bus benches, there's no bus benches available. None in your area. And you're like, I don't care. You keep pushing. You just take bus benches. You get them. Next thing you know, you integrate. You have those bus benches for life. Now you celebrate because now you've reached 34 of your 36 ends instead of focusing on the 2 you didn't make. Because we're stretching ourselves. We're growing. We keep moving. This is how it works in life. You start a journey, you get on a path, there's obstacles on that path. Do those obstacles stop you or do you push through? Are you tenacious enough that you're resilient to get around them? Remember I was saying tenacious is a great word. Tenacious, aligned to my purpose, makes me resilient to get around all the obstacles so I can achieve my goal. Tenacity with no purpose, if I don't know the goal, if I don't know the action, first of all, I really don't get inspired, but I get stubborn and I start fighting every gremlin door along the way. That just makes for one hell of a miserable life. So what I want you to know is being stubborn, which is what I had to not become. It's one of the changes in my life. I was angry and stubborn, and I had to change those things, and I did change those things, and I did it with the logical levels, and I did it by knowing David Rock's scarf, and I did it by having the conversations that can transform, and I did it by acknowledging when I was being stubborn. I needed to be resilient, so I aligned with the purpose, the goal, and then I put it in place. I want you to learn this. We've given you the PDF. You can click on it, take it, put it up on your wall, and just notice, wow, where am I? Am I not even dreaming that I can accomplish what I want? Am I at the point where I'm doing the things, but I'm not getting what I want back? Or am I at the point where I haven't been taking pride of what I've accomplished? Or am I at the point where I haven't even really seen or taken note of the value that I've created for my life? This is you paying attention to your intention, which has you in the moment taking the right actions. And if you hit a gremlin door, remember Coach Keith, little Coach Keith on your shoulder. Hey, we're at a gremlin door. Let's get through this. This could show up, victim identification. It shows up as another realtor that's very difficult to deal with, or a client that doesn't want to go to the right price. Or you could just blame. But because you're awesome and you want to be a professional and you want to get your life to the next level, nobody gets in the way of your success. All right. So that is the 4 quadrants. If you have any questions, fire them off. I'd love to respond to you later. We're going to move on now to the success meeting because what we do consistently creates a neural highway. It creates a strong groove in your brain that allows you to have the right actions. So remember, we're reprogramming our brain to make sure we celebrate 3 successes. So based on, now you can see how this success meeting works with the 4 quadrants, how it works with Dr. David Rock's scarf. So you can see that this whole program that I built is about reprogramming and creating super highways in your brain of positivity and success and actions that you're taking. So celebrate 3 successes. Get your pen, get your paper out, write this down, make sure you go through this process. If you've done this for 4 weeks, I guarantee you are seeing results. If you haven't done it and you haven't invested in this part of the success meeting, then it's time you do, because guess what? If you haven't done this, then you're at gremlin door number 1. You don't even dream that it can work. Or you're at gremlin door number 2. You dream that it can work and you're trying to implement it, but you just can't do it because there's not enough time in the day because you're too busy having to drive other people around, which means what you have to do at gremlin door number 2 is you have to schedule it and put it in your calendar, make you important so you can get around that gremlin door to get to your success. Celebrate 3 successes that you've had in the last week. If you wrote an offer, if you did it, well, I told you that one of the clients, one of the people, you're my client. So one of the people that was in the webinar went, applied it, had the crucial conversation, and got 2 transactions from it. So celebrate those successes, and then say, what worked well? This is the positive feedback frame for you to acknowledge the small actions that you've taken that created the bigger result. So make sure you ask yourself, what worked well for me to accomplish my successes? You know, the realtor that got those 2 transactions, what worked well was having the crucial conversations and delivering the truth. By acknowledging that, you then start to create that groove where you want to do it again and again and again so you can get more and more successes. So what worked well? And then, because we want to always be better, this is going to help us reach our full potential. This is going to help us move to mastery. This is going to help us be all that we're supposed to be. Even better if I did more phone calls, more marketing, more open houses, ask for the business. Even better if I had the crucial conversations. Even better if I would have reached out and sent Coach Keith a message to get clear on something. Even better if I implemented the full success meeting 6 steps. And then what you want to do is, after you've done your even better if, it's the first thing you schedule for the next week. Going forward, it's the first thing. It's your genius telling you that would have been a better week if I'd have done these things. So you do those things and you get at it. Remember, review your goals, your 2-month goals. Here we are now at the end of March, moving into April. We've been here for 4 weeks. You've been focused. Your goal was to get 2 and 2 or 3 and 3, and you've got 2 out of the 4, and now you got to find April's deals. Then you got to ask yourself, do I have enough in my lead pool to get to 2? So you go to your lead pool. You look and you see, how many clients do I have? Clients are people that are in signed contracts on listings or people that are in your car that you've properly qualified on the 3 steps. After you've got those, then you have customers. Who's coming down the pipeline that I'm talking to, I have a relationship with, but no signed contract and haven't been in my car yet. And then who's a lead? How many leads do I have? You want to call the leads, turn them into customers, call the customers, turn them into clients. And last but not least, you want to set your weekly intention. You want to say, okay, this week I'm going to deliver the news, ask the questions. I'm going to make sure that I rewatch the webinar to make sure to know where I'm getting stuck in my career, in my life, where I need to push through, what's the gremlin door that's getting in the way. I'm going to set my intention this week to tap into my full potential by +1ing. I'm going to start the journey to mastery by just improving and +1ing the small parts of my life and business. And there you go. That's the 6 steps to the success meeting. This is our 4th time we're doing it, and I know you're seeing the results. Now, here is even bigger news that I was wanting to tell you. If you want to learn even deeper, even more dialogues, languages, how to qualify buyers, how to qualify listings, communications, all kinds, I am launching the Realtor Profit System, www.realtorprofitsystem.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything that you've seen here. There is 5 hours of coaching videos like this, all in order, starting with your purpose all the way down to taking care and communicating with clients. And it comes with the the AIM Real Focus, Real Estate Focus app, the AIM Real Estate Focus app. So you're going to get the Realtor Profit System, you're going to get the AIM Real Estate Focus app. The app has got 9 modules. It's a place to keep your leads. It's a place to do your goals. It's got a goal setting function. It's got the ability to have a CEO's report to track your business on the back. You can keep all your leads in one place instead of on the floor of the car and by the phone in the kitchen or maybe on your desk. You can keep all your buyers, all your listings in there. When you get a lead, you edit it, the lead becomes a buyer, the buyer gets edited. When it's a sale, it goes to the sale. And then at the sale, there is a 10-point checklist that you can put into place, which is another system. This has 17 systems that you can put into your business that's going to help you take it to the next level. It's amazing. I wanted to launch this app. It's taken me 2.5 years to get here. I wanted to launch this and sell this app when I first had developed it about 1.5 years ago. And I knew that it would just not be effective if it didn't have the training to go with it. So we go into depth on buyer qualification. We go into depth on vision boards. We go into depth on setting your goals. We go into depth on how to handle buyers. We go into depth on dialogues. We go into depth on Dr. David Rock's work, SCARF, and how to use it to get more listings and price reductions. It's an amazing program that's going to make you an amazing tool in your business. And here's the beauty of it. Because you're an early adopter, because you're here with me at the beginning of this. It took me 2.5 years to get here to launch it. Today is the day, which I am so excited for. And am I going through the 4 quadrants? Absolutely. Am I proud of what I've accomplished? Absolutely. Were there gremlin doors that got in the way? For sure. I mean, I can't even start on how hard this has been. And now I'm offering it to you. It's going to be $497 on the membership site. But the first 1,000 that join get it for $97. You will get access to all the training videos. You'll get a download for the app for your Android or your iPhone or your iPad. And you'll have all those things that you need, plus 5 hours, 9 modules of training around your business, around real estate, around the app. And if you want, you can also join my Facebook group, The Realtor Profits. It's a private Facebook group that I am going to be monitoring, and I'm going to be responding to and running my polls and posting some, my nuggets for the week or my learnings for the week that I get from my coaching sessions one-on-one. So this program is for you. It's built for you. It's built to tailor you to make you better. So go to www.realtorprofitsystem.com. It's $97 for the first 1,000 that join as members. It includes 5 hours of training. It includes the app. And all I want you to know is thanks for being here. I'm excited. Today's a huge day. 2.5 years later, I'm launching something that I built, and I went through all the gremlin doors to get there. And today is an amazing day. I'm super proud of what I've accomplished, and I couldn't get to enough people. In the last 2 weeks, I've had 9 requests for one-on-one showing, which I had to put on my waiting list, which is now at 95 people. So I coach all my clients. There's 95 people waiting. I needed to help them. I needed to give them what I was giving my clients. So I created the Realtor Profit System. It's ready to go. It's launched. It's live today. Make sure you take advantage of this. It's a great opportunity. And thank you for being here for our 4th success meeting. We've done it in all of March. There's going to be more great content coming. Make sure that you get to the Realtor Profits page, or you look at go to myaimcoaching.com and you register on my Facebook page, because I'm going to be announcing some other great things that are coming up. And of course, it's going to be tailored for you to give you good value. So at the end of the day, if you really want to reach your full potential, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest time, and you have to invest money. My clients pay me up to $10,000 a year, and I'm giving it to you for $97 on this program. So make sure you take advantage of this. This is a massive, massive value. And if you've really enjoyed these webinars, you're really going to enjoy the training modules as well. So everyone, have an amazing day. Go out there and impact people's lives in a positive way. Make a difference. Thanks for being in the success meeting, and I just can't wait to see you guys again.